The Grizz get it done old school last night, drilling down on defense. So much to unpack with these NBA playoffs. This is Undisputed. Good morning, everybody. I'm Jen Hale. That is Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharp. Good morning, guys.
Good morning, good morning, good morning.
I tried to warn you about your Lakers last night, and you would not listen, and it cost you more due.
And I tried to warn you about Anthony Davis, and you keep telling me he top 5.
You picked him to get to the finals. I didn't pick him to get to the finals. Well, here we go.
Get out midday.
Yeah, you might have to today.
Skip, you did indeed call it. No jaw, no problem for the Grizzlies last night. They beat the Lakers 103-93, evening up this series 1-1. During the game, Dillon Brooks and LeBron talking back and forth. Brooks obviously asked about the encounter afterwards. You knew he would be. Take a listen.
I poke bears. I don't respect no one until they come and give me 40. I don't care he's old. You know what I mean? I was waiting for that. I was expecting him to do that game 4, game 5. He's not at the same level as he was when he was on Cleveland, when he won championships, Miami. You know, I wish I got to see that. You know what I mean? It would have been a harder task. But, you know, I'm playing with what I got, you know. So, you know, just wear and tear on him throughout a 7-game series and see if he can take it.
That's bold after winning just one game in the series, but that's Memphis's MO, right? Shannon?
Yep.
What's your reaction to what Dillon Brooks had to say?
I don't really have no reaction, Skip. I think the thing is that what we've seen from Dillon Brooks, Skip, in wrestling, he's adopted the heel. That's what he is. He wants to be the villain.
Yeah.
And he's adopted that role. And if you notice, Skip, we talk more about Dillon Brooks, about what he says after the game, what he wears to the game, as opposed to what he does actually in the game.
Bingo.
And so he knew by saying what he said would get him more clicks and more mentions and more being talked about than any play he's ever had at any level, high school, college, or pro. He know that one word, LeBron James is old, was going to get him mentioned and talked about.
It's a nuclear word. He's old.
Now, I didn't hear him say he was old after he lost on Sunday.
No.
He didn't say a word.
No.
And the Athletic, that we talked about some of the topics that they had in the Athletic. They said the Memphis Grizzlies, they do a lot of chirping when they're winning. But when they're losing, they don't say a word. It's annoying. And right on cue, Dillon Brooks. Skip, a lot of times when we get up here, the luxury that I have that when you gave me this opportunity, I got to speak from a different level than someone said as a journalist, because you guys see things through a prism or a lens, and I got to see things through a different lens. I'm an athlete, but I've also been young. You've been young. And what Dillon Brooks said, I can remember saying the exact same thing, Skip, when in my early 20s. Somebody was old.
Yeah.
But as I got older in life, I started to realize one of the objectives in life is to get old. Maybe not. Dillon Brooks should hope he ain't gonna play 20. He should hope he has a career half as long as LeBron James. Forget being as productive. We know that's not gonna happen, but just half as long. And then as you start to get older in life, you're like, well, hey, this getting old ain't that bad. Considering there's a lot of people that left and didn't get a chance to get old.
Yeah.
Now back to our originally scheduled programming. Skip, look, I don't respect anybody. Skip, here's the thing. And I'm a firm believer in this because I played with a lot of great players and played against Reggie and played against Bruce, Ray Lewis, Deion Sanders. I believe I can go out there not be in awe, but be respectful. That's the way I approach it. I understand who they were, what they have accomplished, and but I'm not in awe of that. I'm gonna come give you everything I got and make the best man win.
Yeah.
He knew by being disrespectful, saying what he said, everybody's gonna leave their show with it. It's at the top of everybody's headline. Dillon Brooks says LeBron James is old. Says, I wish I could have got. But see, the smart thing about LeBron is LeBron knows he's not. Look, this ain't a one-on-one. If we just said, okay, LeBron, you and Dillon Brooks go out there and play, y'all got one-on-one. LeBron will mop the floor with him.
Agreed.
But LeBron understands this is not a one-on-one battle. It's the Lakers versus the Grizzlies.
Yeah.
LeBron dropped 28, 12, and 3. Couldn't nobody make a shot yesterday, or he'd had more assists than that. But when he scored 21 the other night, Skip, I didn't hear Dillon Brooks say a word. So damn, the LeBron James got 4 days older, and now he's ancient. Look, Dillon Brooks, like I said, he's the heel in wrestling.
Yeah.
And so he's the Iron Sheik, or he's one of those guys, Skip. And that's the role he's adopted, because we talk about what he's saying. Broke Gary Payton, snatched him out the air. He got suspended for getting the 16th tech. That's what we talk about with him, Skip. When do we mention his game? Man, he got crazy handles. He can finish at the rim. He's a great shooter. We don't talk about that. We talk about his antics. And that's what he wants us to talk about.
Yep. So, for a man who had very little to say in reaction to what Dillon Brooks said about LeBron, you just had a whole lot to say.
Okay, my bad. I did.
Yes, you did. And by the way, I'll frame everything I'm about to say with our man Draymond Green, who will not play tonight because he's suspended.
Right.
Recently on his podcast called Dillon Brooks a flat-out clown and said you don't build dynasties on clowns. Now, occasionally, Draymond's behavior can be clownish.
Yes.
But that's a whole nother issue that we're about to talk about in our next block here on the show. Dillon Brooks is nothing but an instigator. Instigating is all he can do.
Correct.
Because the truth is, he's all bark with very little bite.
He doesn't have the game to back it up.
And when we talk about smoke and mirrors, he has no smoke, really. He's all mirrors. He's a terrible shooter.
Yes.
He was a 32% three-point shooter this year. He was, from the floor, he was a 39% shooter this year, 39.6%.
Yes.
That ranked 119th of 123 qualified. I'm talking about from the floor, shooting shots.
Yeah.
He was bottom of the barrel.
Yes.
Last night, I was watching him shoot. It looked so awkward. And then, when I least expected it, he makes the dagger. Or I guess it was the final nail in the coffin, right?
Yes.
He made the three at the end of the game that cinched it. And yet, I'm saying, from play to play, dribble to dribble, I'm watching him guard LeBron. And he didn't always guard LeBron. But when he did have LeBron, I'm looking at it like, this is a joke. It's a mismatch. They list him at 6'7". I'm not sure he's 6'7". They list him at 225. I'll give you 225. LeBron James is 6'9", 260. LeBron towers over him. And by the way, LeBron also towers over Xavier Tillman.
Yes.
Xavier Tillman is 6'7". So he plays big. He looked like he was there 5 last night.
He played 7-1 last night.
He played 7-1. But I'm saying LeBron is very close to, because Jaren Jackson's, what do we give him, 6'10"-ish? Okay, LeBron is close to being the biggest guy on the whole floor. And when he decides on Dillon Brooks, he can just take him to school, take him to the bucket, take him anywhere he wants to take him. And yet, because LeBron did not impose his will soon enough on Dillon Brooks last night, he opened the door for Dillon Brooks to do what you just saw.
Yeah.
Because if the Lakers win that game and go up 2-0 going home, do you think Dillon Brooks is going to say that after the game?
No.
He gets it. He knows it. He's what you said. What's the flashpoint? Old. He's old. He's washed up.
Right.
He ain't what he used to be. The old gray mare ain't what she used to be, right? He's not the old Miami LeBron or the Cleveland LeBron.
Right.
I wish I could have seen that guy, but now he's just not the same.
I got to deal with what I got.
I got to deal with it. And yet, he did make one good point about if LeBron wants just to stay out there by the sidelines and shoot shots. Okay, my biggest issue with LeBron from the start is he still jacks up way too many threes.
I agree.
And last night, he averaged 7 three-point shots a game this season and had an abysmal three-point shooting season in which he was bottom of the barrel. Last night, he tried 8 and he made 1. And then he had the audacity, when he did make his 1, LeBron turned to somebody in the front row and like stared him down. I'm like, give me a break, because if you can make 4 of those, you can do that. But don't do it off the first one when you're about to go 1 for 8. So Dillon Brooks had the advantage. He had the leverage after the game because simply they won a game that they really had no business winning.
Correct.
And yet, this was the flashpoint of the game for me. This is where LeBron was so disappointing to me, because he is clearly all-time great. We can go back and forth whether he's the GOAT or not, or whether he belongs in the top 10. I got him 9th overall. We could debate that all day. But he is all-time great because he is the greatest scorer in the history of this game.
Right.
He passed Kareem Abdul-Jabbar this year. That deserves honor. That deserves respect.
Yeah.
And that puts him on a pedestal far, far above some Dillon the villain way over here. I don't even know how long he's going to last in the league. Seriously, because his skills can't back up his mouth at all. So, Shannon, we had that flashpoint moment. What was the time? Let me get it here. Okay, so it's 8:10 of the third quarter. The Lakers are getting their asses kicked by a jawless Memphis Grizzlies.
Yep.
And LeBron makes a shot. This one was on Dillon Brooks. And it's the fadeaway at the free throw line, kind of like the shot that he passed Kareem on, right? It was real close to that shot. So here he goes. It's good. It's good. That's unguardable if you can make it. And up the court he comes, and LeBron is giving him the business. And Dillon Brooks is loving it and literally clapping back at him because in Dillon Brooks's mind, he's saying, I got him. I got him. He's recognizing my existence. He is responding to my trash talk.
Did you hear what LeBron called him?
No, I couldn't see what it was.
An effing bum.
Okay, bum. Okay, well, you know what? Okay, I'll give you that. But the truth is, it's way beneath LeBron's dignity to stoop down to his level. You know what the old thing about a pissing match with a skunk? You're in a pissing match with a skunk.
You're going to lose.
Okay, the effing bum. Okay, you don't need to tell him that. Show him that.
Right.
At that moment, if I'm LeBron's teammate, I'm like, oh, God. He's getting in LeBron's head because LeBron felt compelled to respond to him. I got you. Well, you don't got me on the scoreboard because I don't know what it was. I think you were down 15 at that point. Okay, so Shannon, you know and I know it's way beneath LeBron's dignity to do that at that point in the game. That's when I said, you know what? I think Memphis is going to win this game because Dillon is getting to LeBron.
I thought Memphis was going to win the game through the first 5 minutes of the game. And you saw the way you saw they did not come out with a focus. I don't care. They can't convince me that they weren't satisfied with just getting one win.
Yeah.
They didn't come out Wednesday night like they came out Sunday afternoon.
Yeah.
That didn't happen. And you could tell early